This is the Gen Y Leaders Podcast. Welcome to the Gen Y Leaders Podcast, where we guide millennials to become the next generation of business leaders and entrepreneurs. I'm your host, Eric Huey, and multiple times a month, we bring you interviews from high-performing millennials who are challenging perceptions and changing expectations of our generation. Our mission is to help you overcome fear, take action, and go confidently in the direction of your dreams. It's time to start preparing now, mainly because 10,000 baby boomers are retiring every day, which will create a vacuum of career opportunities that you've been waiting for. Will you be ready? Kwaku, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me.
My pleasure. If you could just tell listeners, viewers who you are and what you do.
Yeah, so my name is Kwaku Duah. My artist name is 65. You might hear DJ 6five in many places in Kansas City and in the Midwest. I'm a DJ, music producer, entrepreneur, and philanthropist. Quite busy.
Yeah, you got a lot going on. Some of which isn't even on your LinkedIn profile.
Yeah, a lot going on, and I'm just a hungry, passionate individual. So I guess that kind of gives the framework of what I do, and any other details you
For sure.
want to know.
Definitely.
I'm happy to answer.
So I'm a marketing guy at heart, and so I'm just curious, the 6'5" name. What's the story behind that?
Yeah, so I'm actually 6 feet 5 inches in height.
Wow. Okay.
And, yep, 5 has always been my lucky number. I was actually born on 4/5/95, April 5th, 1995. My basketball number was always 5. Soccer number was 5, and I capped out at 6 feet 5 inches. So 5 has always been my thing. Once I got kind of stuck at 6'5", everybody started calling me 6'5", and one of my buddies got me into music, and they started calling me DJ 6'5". Just at first it was just as a joke, like we were in the dorm room, like, oh yeah, DJ 6'5", because I was always on the aux cord, I was on the Bluetooth, so I always had an ear for music. So DJ 6'5" was kind of floating in the air, and then one day my friend's like, hey, yo, let's make this stick. I need a DJ for my live performances, and I was like, perfect. So yeah. I started learning, and 6'5" was established. I threw it on a t-shirt and put the handprint in the middle, because you got to have the 5, and it's taken off, man. God is good, to say the least. It just works so well, and the more people have become familiar with it, the more it's continued to work. So I've just embraced it, and it's almost kind of like fate. It seems how it's all come together so well for me.
Yeah.
I've got t-shirts, hats, hoodies, all of it, man.
Yeah, without a doubt, man. That's such a good story. It's those business names that are just so effortless and fitting that you're on the right
so
path.
Effortless.
Yeah, that's great, man. Good for you.
Yeah, appreciate it.
So what's your why? What's got you into music and some philanthropy efforts? What's your why? What keeps you going in those?
What keeps me going is just I love life, and I love the gifts I've been blessed with and the tools I have at my disposal. It's like God has blessed me. And I know this isn't a religious podcast or whatever the case may be, but
no, it's okay.
Yeah. God has blessed me so much. Like,
yeah,
it's rare you'll catch me without a smile on my face. And he's given me so many gifts and so many visions and ideas that most of the time are good. Mm-hmm. For instance, my nonprofit, the GlobalWaves Foundation, what we do is we host music events for orphans around the world. And at these music events, we'll provide food. We'll have general aid, any school supplies the kids may need, and we'll have basically a party for them. And when you're growing up in a developing country, and you have this beautiful vision of what America looks like and how other kids are living their lives, it just seems so free. Mm-hmm. And sometimes being in an orphanage, you can kind of be confined to the walls that you're within. So I came across a Facebook video one day of some kids dancing at a school in Africa. They're just having the time of their life, and it looks completely poor around them. Like, you could tell they're probably not too far outside the village. but they're dancing and having the time of their life. I was like, whose great idea was it to record this moment and put it on Facebook? You know, whoever did that literally changed the scope of my life.
Yeah.
And, you know, in that time, I know you're going to probably ask a little bit more about the whole leave your handprint and my purpose, etc.
Yeah.
But it all kind of stemmed from this moment. And I saw that video and I was like, how do I get involved with something like that? I haven't done too much charitable work. I'm not super out in the community as far as giving back. I'm out here DJing, doing videos and having fun. I'm the cool guy, but what am I doing to actually contribute to the society around me?
Yeah.
So when I saw that, I was like, wow, I'm going to be going back home to Ghana this year. I needed to be doing something like this. And who better to create a music experience for people than a DJ?
Yeah.
So the rest is history, man. Still got a ton of work to do. This year kind of slowed things down due to COVID-19. But when God gives you visions, whatever creator you believe in, whenever you get a good vision that's so contributing to society and to the world and is so fulfilling, it's like, wow, thank you. I have to do something with this, you know?
Without doubt. You know, he's got you on the right path.
Yeah, he's just blessed me with so many good ideas, and there's so many ways to fulfill my purpose and leave my handprint. It's like, wow, how can I not be passionate?
Yeah,
you
for
know?
sure.
I know you can hear me ranting right now. This wasn't scripted. Like, it's
exactly.
It's raw, it's authentic, you know?
Yeah, most definitely. And you, that's a great segue. So you alluded to it there with leave your handprint, and it's right there on your shirt with in the middle of your logo.
Yeah.
So for those people listening, you know, a good focusing question I ask every entrepreneur that's on the show is, you know, if you had a room full of 100 other entrepreneurs, you know, what would you tell them or how would you inspire them? And a lot of people will say very focused statements, but yours was very powerful and very broad. And you said, leave your handprint. And that's kind of a mantra that you live by. Can you explain what that is and how you live by that?
Yeah. We're all born with something within us that differentiates us from the next person. We all have individual, unique fingerprint. We were all created different, you know? So that means we all have something different we can bring to the table. And I know in my response, I mentioned the fact of unity. Everybody doing their part in contributing to making the world a better place. That's how we can make the world a better place. Just bring what you have to the table. And when I say leave your handprint, it's simply just, whether you're in the grocery store, our time here is limited on this earth. So these different interactions and places we go in our life, like, these are opportunities to leave our handprint. Mm-hmm. You know, what effect are we leaving on people?
Oh yeah. Whether
it's minimal, whether it's huge, we're having so many opportunities to leave who we are with somebody. So with the world, like, leaving your handprint, just contribute whatever it is that you have, and let's continue to create a better tomorrow, not just for ourselves, not just for our families, but for generations to come. Because once your fingerprint in your handprint expires, which is the sad truth, we're all going to die someday. Once it expires, that's it.
Yep.
But not if you choose to leave it behind in a different way, you know? Yeah. So leave your handprint is all about just bring what you have to the table, and let's leave a legacy. How will people remember you? For
sure. Well said. I'm gonna just leave that looped on my website or something. That was inspirational, man. Appreciate that.
Yeah. You know, and my thoughts sometimes they scatter a little bit, but it's just like, when it comes to purpose and passion, I could talk about it all day. I live and breathe it. So I can't even script you a perfect answer. I don't have to type it out. I have to record it. But when you're talking to me from the jump, man, I'm gonna give you the honest, 100% transparent answer, because this is what I love, man.
For sure. So I think some people in their individual walks are, you know, definitely searching for that passion and the purpose. Some people, you know, it's very, very clear to them, like yourself. You know, you got your clear path. You're set on what you're on. Do you have any advice or ideas for people who are still, you know, searching for that passion, searching for that purpose, and how can they find that?
That's a great question, man. For people out here searching for the purpose, I think you just got to open your eyes and open your mind and open your heart. As you're receptive, as you continue on your journey in life, you don't know what's gonna fall upon you. You can't be closed-minded. you were given a purpose, you're given a gift. So to find it, you have to continue just finding yourself, finding what truly makes you happy. And it's one of those things, it's one of those divine things. You can't specifically plan what it's going to be or how to come about, but once you know, you know. And once you find that gift, I'm telling you, you better run with it, because it has completely transformed my life. I've always been a hard worker. I've always wanted to be a hard worker. I went through most of my life being, I would say, at B when it comes to drive and passion. I was always at B, sometimes B minus, you know, and because I would fail and I would tend to just kind of like, okay, well, wow, let me just find something else, or let me sulk. Let me, feel bad about myself. But once I found my passion of music, and then God blessed me with my purpose of serving the world through music, bringing kids together, all these good things. Like, I've just been on a life high since, and this is what I plan to do, until my time comes, is just continue living in my purpose and leaving my handprint. So once you find it, you better run with it, because it's for you.
Yeah. It's got to be so freeing and peaceful just to know you're on the right path.
Oh man, it's different. Let me tell you that.
For sure. So there's obviously lots of issues going around this year, a lot of, cultural issues.
Yeah.
What would you say, how can we come together as a society when we have differences? If even just at the opinionated level, there's always going to be differences of opinion. So how can we, better come together and treat one another better, even when we differ?
And I like this question. Reading over it earlier, it kind of hit me, because this past weekend I was at a community event. We were working on rebuilding a staircase.
Yeah, was that for the Paseo? I thought I saw you.
Yes, the Paseo staircase. I was DJing at that event, and Chris Good, the founder of Ruby Jeans Zuchery, at the end of it was saying how impactful it was that we had people from different backgrounds in a world of divide. We're currently in like one of the highest times of divide in our society.
Yeah.
But all these people came together. When I tell you we had people from age 2 or 3, up to 60s, like there was Black people, there was white people, there was Hispanic, there was Asian, there was boy, girl, like a good mixture of people came together, and nobody was even thinking about that. Mm-hmm. And it happened subconsciously. We were focused on the project. We were focused on the better good of society. We were focused on progression. Yeah. Nobody had the time to even think, oh, he's Black, let me stay over here. Yep. I'm not a mind reader, but that was the energy. You could feel it. It just felt so uplifting. But unity is the true cure for these issues that we're dealing with in society. And I think it's important for us to focus on the next generation, because all of us who, I would say, let's say 40 and older, 30 and older, we've had enough time to kind of form our opinions, and a lot of us tend to be stuck in our ways. But one thing most of us can agree on is that we want the next generation, we want our sons, our daughters, etc., to grow up in a better situation than we have. Yeah. So the best way for us to do that is to pour into the youth, pour into our communities. When we're focused on these things, I guarantee you it'll be a lot easier to look past the color separation. You're focused on progression. And I think that now more than ever, we need unity. Let's focus on making the world a better place. We've seen how bad it can get, and
for sure, man.
This is our opportunity to grow from it. So I think that'll be one of the best things for us to do.
Great answer, man. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I think this year has just been unfortunate, kind of perfect storm, if you want to call it that, for a lot of bad things. People trapped inside, just bored, and like not being able to contribute to themselves, their families, their towns. So I think just a lot of high emotions and just bad things happening. So I'm ready to get on with this year. So a couple questions to wrap us up here. Are there any certain people, books, resources that you want to mention? Yes. I know you have a podcast as well, so if you want to plug that, feel free. If you want to direct some listeners over there.
Yeah, I would say probably I'm going to give my top 5 resources that have been assets and have contributed to my growth as a human being and to my success. First and foremost, my mother. She's been the rock of my life, and she is a resource. So I know she is a resource. You know, moms are truly a blessing, and she's shown me what it's like to stick it out. You know, things are not always gonna be pretty. She's dealt with a lot of things no one wants to see their parents go through, and nothing scarring, but just she's dealt with a lot of struggle. Yeah, and she's still overcome it. She's continues to overcome. She's a fighter, and she always ends up with a smile on her face. And I'm like, wow, I'm a representation of my mom, because I've been through a lot of BS myself. Yeah, you know, suffering through. I thought basketball was my path. I thought basketball was my big ticket. 2 knee injuries done, you know, and obviously not too much promise after that. So my mom has definitely been one of the most powerful resources for me. 2, a book that I read quite frequently is The 7 Spiritual Laws of Success by Deepak Chopra. Okay. Very, very simple, concise book that anybody can understand that will change your life, quite frankly. It's a little over 100 pages. There's seven laws. I can't name off the top of my head, but they're quite simple. And Kelly, my manager, was actually telling me, you know, you understand it when you can simplify it for a 5-year-old or a kindergartner. Yeah. And that's what this book is, but it still resonates so well. Yeah, there's some big words in there and whatnot, but the principles and the text is just like, oh, wow, it's this simple for me to live a successful life, regardless of where my, my finances or my house, wherever that looks like. Success is simple. Yeah. And that book has been great for me. 3rd resource, I would say, I listen to a lot of podcasts. Shout out to the internet. Shout out to the internet for bringing us podcasts. I listen to a lot of sharp people. I actually was listening to a Tyler Perry interview on the way here, conducted by Oprah. And it hit me like, wow, I have access to these people who are truly doing and have done amazing things. Yeah. We have to utilize it. So podcast, motivational speakers, Les Brown and Eric Thomas, just to name a few, that are some of my favorites. Yeah, both good guys. Oh my goodness, it's crazy the value they just pour out. Yeah. You feel it. You feel their soul speak when you listen to these guys, and I resonate with that. I'm passionate, as you can see. So me being able to listen to these guys for free, like just on my phone, and feel fired up every morning. Like Charlie Jabaley is another guy I've been tapping into, big resource. Charlie, aka Charlie Rocket, like he's just a phenomenal spirit, so powerful, uplifting. It's such a blessing to have access to these things. So those guys I just mentioned, along with just podcasts in general and motivational speakers, has been a tremendous resource. Thanks for those recommendations. I think I gave you more than 5. But the last one, I mean, my last biggest thing would just be, obviously God and the universe working in my favor. Not everything's gonna be beautiful and crystal cut perfect. That's how life is. But I've been blessed way too much to even, focus on the losses. So mentor once told me, God isn't always predictable, but God is always good. Amen. Yeah. Isn't he good? Yep, for sure. Kwaku, where can people get a hold of you? They want just, chat and talk personal advice, business advice, get some of your gear online. Where is the best place to get a hold of you? Yeah, so I'm actually becoming more available in multiple ways now. So if you want to find the center of what I'm up to and get connected with me, I'll probably say the best place is my website, www.dj5ive.com. So dj65.com. Okay. You can connect with, I give a lot of value, and I have guests who share a lot of value on my podcast as well. So once you get on my website, make sure you tap that podcast link, check out a few episodes. There's value in there for anybody. You can also follow me on Instagram. It's just dj65.com, or not .com. DJ@dj65. That's the same on all social media platforms. And you can check me out on Spotify, iTunes, etc. And it's just 6.5, SIX, the number 5, IVE. Got a big music video dropping pretty soon too. So cool, man. Stay on the lookout for that, man.
Okay, for sure.
But
Yeah, I appreciate that. We'll link to all those references and your contact information in our show notes so people can find you.
Absolutely. Merchandise is on the website. Just dropped the cream hoodies for fall.
There you go.
It's all hats, t-shirts. I got, if you're in Kansas City, I got Royals and Chiefs colorways on all my stuff. So
awesome.
The movement is real, man. Get connected with me. I'd love to connect with you.
That wraps up today's episode. We hope to have brought you some valuable key takeaways. Most importantly, whatever you learned, take action on it. Apply it to your life. Apply it to your career. Motivation and inspiration only come as a result of taking that first step. So if you're enjoying the podcast, don't forget to like and subscribe on whichever platform you found the show. You can also follow us on all the major social media platforms or contact us directly at genwhyleaders@gmail.com. That's GENWHY leaders@gmail.com. Until next time, I'm Eric Huey, and thanks for listening to the Gen Y Leaders Podcast.